Hello, beautiful friends, and welcome to day 2 of the Heart Consciousness Show. Today we have a lovely topic, just transcending conflict and easeful dynamics. I would love to just settle into our energetic space here together. And if you feel to just fast forward through this part, you are welcome to. The essence of this game is recognizing that we all have a unique resonance with life in any moment. And that what we all need, or what serves us in our highest alignment, is unique. And that we are free to play in the way that is most alive in our being. So just starting with that openness and bringing that full openness to this space that we are in. Settling our energetic vibrations. Breathing. Or rather observing the breath of life through us. And in this neutral observation, it's almost like the neutral observation of our breath, of our being, of our scenes in life. Is just letting any agitated vibrations of the mind, of the body, anything that we've picked up and stored through our days, can just integrate into the calmness of our heart space. Which is the space we share here. I know in this personal experience, this outside of the comfort zone of being in the camera really invites me to intentionally connect to this consistent breath, this steady presence. And that just opens up this beautiful doorway to the opportunity to start this show, start this space together with a collective calibration, unique meditation, because wow, how essential and beautiful meditation is in our life as human beings in the world today. Meditation in its infinite forms. You might be walking, your eyes might be open, you could be sitting or lying down or whatever it is, with this quality of open presence, easeful awareness. It's almost this welcoming, I feel this welcoming of the heart, of the wholeness of our being, just drawing us into what I would call this meditative space, where the quality of our observation is peaceful. Even when the content of our observation, may that be the thoughts or the emotions that are moving through our system, even if those don't feel so easeful or don't appear so easeful, our observation of them can be. And this deep self, the truth of our being, is the easeful, natural, unforced, unchanging, highest observation, so to speak. So, this is the space that we are drawing ourselves into. Maybe we are locating some points in our experience that need a little massage, need a little warmth, need a little movement to come into this stillness. Recognizing that meditation is about living from the inner stillness within our dynamic lives. Living in the space of equanimity, where we are this powerful vessel of harmony in our environments. Simply by maintaining a harmonious inner space. This is the tantra of our lives. The balancing of the positive and negative polarities of our world. And this is the space of playfulness in our game of life. And now perhaps we settle into our space in a little new way. Bring some, or feel the energy here move through us. Just continuously allowing any rigidity to soften in our system. And we get to experience this breaking through of the barriers of our programming, of our minds, of our identities, our personalities. We get to begin to experience this boundary that we have lived in expand, and we get to play with this expansion of ourself, where that coming into that boundary, which once was filled with agitation or fear, that vibration of expanding beyond and breaking through these membranes gets to energize us, and we get to play with this energy. With increasing skillfulness, openness, welcomeness, and seeing it for what it is beyond the previous perceptions of fear or retraction, where we have stayed inside these comfort zones. Now we welcome the discomfort as energy that's in transmutation into something greater, expanding beyond the membranes of our personal experience into a universal field that is guiding our highest alignment. And as usual in this space, the invitation is not to hold on to the words or grasp for understanding, but rather to feel the essence moving through us. Nothing to do, simply being. We are breathing together, whether we consciously realize this or not. We share the same space. And as this space is devoted to the essence of inner peace, in all the beautiful, mystical, magical, practical beauty that this space is filled with. We're going to explore this field through the lens of energy that is the essence of the second dimension in this introductory space of the heart consciousness game. And what a gorgeous, gorgeous message that this space has for us, which is the transcendence of our human mind energies of conflict. We can all recognize this in our inner experience. The conflict that can appear within our own mind and experience. And this message gives us a very simple, very beautiful way. I will refer to it as the heart's strategy, which is strategy-less strategy, in which the negativity that we experience within ourselves is simply transcended through our awareness of it. It's a letting go and letting be. So when we experience this conflict within ourselves, all that this heart reminds us that we have to do is to be aware, such that we are not feeding additional energy to that conflict, but we can see it for what it is. And we can let it go, recognizing that all that appears in our experience is energy in forms, in formation, and all energy is in constant transformation. So as anything appears in our experience, it will also disappear and turn into something else. As we experience the challenging aspects of our humanity, all that the heart asks us to do is to observe it as it is and let it transform in the natural course of things. If we may be seeing this with some difficulty of letting go, because at moments the conflict or challenge can feel so close to our being, so intertwined with it, that the shift in perception is from letting it go to simply letting it be. This is the most subtle experience of the transcendence, where we no longer fight or resist what appears in our awareness. And even within the most challenging of our scenes of life, the calm observing presence is infinitely available. And the transcendence is here. The power that we cultivate by observing the challenges of our agitated vibrations as the humanity that we are experiencing. Simply by releasing our resistance to it and letting it be, we are engaging this highest power of the heart and allowing it to transform through our systems. I took a few notes on this yesterday, and a really beautiful idea that came to the mind was that work is part of the definition of energy. The way that energy is defined is the capacity to do work. So as energetic beings, work is inherent in our existence. And the question becomes, what are we working for? What is our energy working for? Our awareness. When we are going through life unconsciously, our energy may be going in working for whatever we experience on the surface level, right? We aren't aware of this transcendent intention of higher consciousness. And to put this in other words, when we are conscious, our energy is working for a higher way, a way that transforms, transmutes the energy of our base layer humanity into a higher purpose, simply as the essence of this consciousness. So anything that we are experiencing can have a higher purpose when we apply the neutral power of the heart's awareness. So this is where the play comes in, where every aspect of our inner conflict has a higher purpose and is here for the cultivation of our truest power and our harmonious engagement of the field of our life. This is what the office, God's office, is all about. We are employing our energy to work for the highest. The highest love, the highest peace, the highest good for all, and all that it asks us to do is to meet the lower energies of our experience in this hard space with this neutral observation, to allow it to transform naturally. Can we see this in our experience? Can we experiment with this power of observation and peace when we are met in some way in our lives with lower frequencies of conflict and whatever form that may take? Can we experiment to see in our neutral observation, in our non-reactivity, can we let go of the control and need to manipulate and observe how life naturally resolves and transforms these energies of conflict? How deeply can we invite this experiment into our life? And through this transcendence of conflict, this embodiment of the essence of this power up of the heart, this experiment, we enter into the field of easeful dynamics, easeful relationships with life, with others, within ourselves, where we do not fight what we see. We do not have a need to change another being. We do not engage the agitated vibration that underpins any environment in our experience. And rather, we are invited into a dynamic play, engagement in our field of life, of ease. Imagine this world, living in our own world where all of the players and scenes and environments can appear in our screen, and our dynamic navigation is of ease. The true transmutation work happens within us, where we allow the challenging vibrations, we are calling it conflict, to be seen, observed, and naturally transmute. Where the real work happens within the self to engage life in the way that we prefer, in a way of ease, in a way of mastery of our own energetic field. This beautiful dimension invites us to recognize that what we feel and experience in our life is our own energy field, and how our energy field interacts with the forms that appear in it. That all of life feels our energy field. And so the work with the capital W that we explore here is the work of softening and refining our energy field such that its natural interaction with all of life is one of peace, is one of wholeness, is filled with love. And I say filled with love as there is no space in our energy field for holding of forms of density. They can be here momentarily as part of our work as human energy beings, here to transmute the energy of the collective, but it doesn't stay stagnant or consciously or unconsciously held in our systems. When we decide to embody this field, this divine reality, this energy of ease and peace, this field of God, this universal energy, whatever, however it resonates in our awareness as this true possibility, as this true reality that exists for us to meet and fully inhabit. As we make this choice, as we align the mind in this reality of the heart, every challenge is transformed. Every aspect of our life is invited to be part of this field because there is no separation. There is no exclusion of any form in reality from this higher universal reality, this universal love, this fabric of our cosmic connection. And we get to experience this texture of trust, this texture of life that is a pure trust in life, in the self, in all of our experience as guiding, as one with us, as one with the highest intention. So this play begins to have a new feel to it. To live life in the texture of trust, we can experience these triggers where we want to rebel against or fight against some part of our experience, and we are reminded, even this is part of this field of God, part of this field of infinite wisdom that is showing us something that we may not currently see, the fullness of the truth. Yet we are willing to play in it. We are willing to meet this trigger. We are willing to meet this challenge from this space of remembrance, of play, of openness. And however that moves in life is infinite in its potential. And what I mean by this is that the expression of our peace may not always be the idea or the concept of, a peaceful Zen response or look. Sometimes it comes out with fire. Sometimes it can come out in any way, but the essence is that our center is calm. Our center is at ease, meeting the infinite potential of our worlds. And we are welcoming this way of easeful dynamics. We can live in a space of full ease within our relationships. It requires us to release the need to change anyone. And it brings our full power into the self, that our only control is of our inner space. The ability to let go of these negative energy fields within our own awareness. To let be, let go, and let transform. When the mind is running on old operating systems, we're experiencing the deconstruction of the dying human dynamics. When the mind is in a negative space, we can know that what is deconstructing is the old operating systems of humanity. And we can experience this consciously as the wholeness of our world gets transformed through our own heart. It is my greatest wish that this held some resonance of love and truth and ease for you, wherever you are now. Thank you so much for being here today, for meeting me in this level of life. May we more easily and naturally transcend the conflict of our game, engage the dynamics of ease in our life, and see the expressions of unity that are here for us to realize. In infinite love.